Imagine a whole sect
Even
living
our
out
visitor
here.
is to be turned away, he said.
I guess that's the point.
What interest would our quarters hold?
Our quarters aren't the worry. It's our brothers and sisters below.
You must be our visitor.
The things you
The
never
High Abbot
see in your
awaits you
own
inside.
backyard.
Straight back.
I take it? You will find the abbot past the chamber of the fallen moon, behind me.
Smells fresh. That can't be the salt well.
I expect I would be too in his position.
Good. The Conclave has elected a Tidebringer after all. I had begun to worry. And they took my advice in providing you an escort. Very good. I am sorry I could not make your journey easier. I am Kauto, the High Abbot. And just in time. The May Queen's tide is nearly past its peak. Much longer, and we'd have had to wait another year. The rules of the Rising are quite clear on that, unfortunately. When you are ready, we will begin with the recitation. Yes, of course. I would not pass my station to you without passing that knowledge as well. It is the Abbey's most sacred chamber. When the Rising is complete, I will take you there myself. In fact, the ritual demands it. I was elected by the Conclave, as you were, but you already knew that much. It was unexpected. There were others more accomplished. I was merely a scholar. But they each had their faiths called into question, and no one could find cause to doubt mine. It was such an honor to become one of Andra's most trusted servants. It was hardly a choice at all. You seem nervous. The Conclave chose you for a reason. For a devout follower of Andra, the answers will flow naturally to you. I remember my own rising. The Conclave sent me on the same exhausting journey. When it came time for the recitation, I could not remember a word. But it all came back in time. Our goddess smiles upon the forgetful. Our library is open to you, as are the grounds outside. There is a beautiful mural out there that you should see, if you haven't yet. And you may, of course, speak with the gift-bearers here, if it helps your recollection. Take your time and examine these things before your recitation. Do not be afraid to fail. A lapse here or there is to be expected. But do take care in your work. Even my patience has limits. Of mine never falters. I don't know how you do it.
Perhaps your thoughts would swim deeper if your tongue didn't come out for air so often, dear brother.
Did you hide in the White March after that?
As far away as I could. The Dominels didn't care I was a gift bearer. Evidence is evidence.
Like an ocean breeze. We've got to be close.
They call out sometimes. Even the guards below think it's strange.
For Andra, most like. They surely long for her embrace.
Oh, look at here.
Yes. See that it is cast away with the others.
Oh, look at here.
It's here. The salt well. You know, I thought it'd be bigger. Gift bearers say the heaviest regrets and greatest sorrows get left here. So it better be. You know how when you've been thinking about something so long, you're worried that when you finally get it, it won't be what you expected? I mean, for all we know, that thing's just filled with leeches. Don't remind me. Good. Anything's better than this. Maybe not. But it's worth a try. Okay. Here goes. Oh, that's cold! I think I'm going numb, actually. This is the right pool, isn't it? I've got it. Took this from the Marchezo cellar the night I awakened. Been saving it for a special occasion.
Watch out! What are we just standing here for? Help her!
I remember running, but I don't remember what chased me. And I remember fear, but I don't remember what scared me. And I gave something up, but I don't remember why. I'll feel better after a glass of wine.
Are you prepared now for the recitation? You seem nervous. The Conclave chose you for a reason. For a devout follower of Andra, the answers will flow naturally to you. I remember my own rising. The Conclave sent me on the same exhausting journey. When it came time for the recitation, I could not remember a word. But it all came back in time. Our goddess smiles upon the forgetful. I know you will not disappoint when the time comes. Very good. We shall commence the rising. First is Anthu. Last is Dianthu. For the tide comes at the end and leaves at the beginning. I am Disaman the Ebb, who comes this way. Blessed be Saman, that washes over the shore and brings the end. Blessed be Disaman, that returns to the sea and leaves behind the beginning. A gift-bearer comes to Disaman and asks him to bear his burdens away. What token do you offer, gift-bearer? The token is received in Andra's name. Tell me of your burdens. In Andra's embrace, our burdens are lifted. The Tidebringer shows himself worthy of his charge. Your purpose here, Tidebringer, is to perform the ceremony of the rising. It is the transition of one phase of service to the next.
How much longer is this gonna be? My joints are rusting.
On the level beneath us in the halls of silence, our low-tide brothers and sisters have lived for many years, sealed by their own will. It is time for them to be relieved of service, and for the high-tide brothers and sisters here to take their place. In the halls below you will find a relic, Andra's witness, and a spurgulum for dispensing holy water, but also something more. It is set into a device it operates atop a flight of steps. The device will flood the halls of silence. This is the rising. The high tide is to replace the low and stand vigil in the halls of silence until the next rising. When you have completed the rising, bring Andra's witness to me here. I will show you the last of what you need to know. To reach your destination, you will need to know the sign of the tide, which is kept only by the High Abbot. It's said that it is the first knowledge lost when the Abbot joins the low tide in the halls of silence. Watch carefully. I trust you will perform your duty, Tidebringer.
I'll not let them fall into the goddess's embrace with empty stomachs.
Their supplies are bountiful, sister. I have seen to it.
Andra I've never heard of.
Who's there? Is that you, Edith? I thought I'd lost you.
I see this man's mind, shattered, crumbling, even as we stand here.
I called for you. I wanted to search, but the blizzard lasted days. I'm so sorry. But wait. We did find you. When the thaw finally came. I saw you, rigid, frozen. You cannot be Edith. No, we are in the Abbey. Gift bearers. And you must be the Tidebringer. Then listen well, Tidebringer. Kauto does not know what he asks, nor did I when I performed the Tidebringer's duties so long ago. The halls of silence. They take our minds, memory by memory. It would be peaceful, we were told, like going to sleep. Look around you. We, the low tide, who have been sealed down here all these many years, do we seem at peace to you? We are lost, terrified. Few of us know friend from foe anymore. I may be the only one left who can still speak for us. They are peaceful in their hearts. It is this place. It has confused and agitated them. Please forgive them.
Oh, that's good. I ought to try that one next time I get nabbed.
No one has asked me in I don't know how long. Who was I? I was the High Abbot, wasn't it? High Abbot. Ferentis. That was me. Or the one before me, if not. No longer, though. I am just another brother of the low tide. I remember a woman. Was she my wife? She had curls in her hair, and she spoke softly. What became of her? I carry so many memories that I took from strangers who wanted to be rid of them. I don't know what's mine anymore. And there are so many holes, every image a blur or a void. Would that I could be free of this place, free to make new memories, to know who I am. The Tidebringer comes to replace the High Abbot. The ritual is called... It is called the Rising. Yes. We carry so many memories, tragic or dangerous some. We live above for a time, devoted to Andra. Then we come here to forget it all, wash our souls clean of the memories. When it is done, a Tidebringer is summoned. Those above, the high tide, they become the low tide. It means they are brought here to the halls of silence. But not before the old low tide are removed, drowned in a flood, and swept away. The Rising. Did we? We did. We chose it when we thought it was our duty, and that it would be peaceful. But the more we forget, the less we understand. Every day something familiar becomes strange. If I had known, I'd never have accepted my assignment to the Abbey. Nor would many, I suspect.
He made his choice when he was of sound mind. He's not himself anymore. Better to finish the ritual and release him back to the wheel.
There is a relic, an aspergillum, it was called. What was it? Well, it doesn't matter. It controls the floodwaters. but also the outer floodgates. Andra's Witness. That is the name. It is down here, but I don't recall how to reach it. The High Abbot knows. If you can find out from him, you could set us free. Open the gates. We would leave in peace and finish our lives in dignity. We are all so old now. There is little damage we could do in this state. Once we are free of this place, we will be able to make memories again. The confusion and paranoia will pass. Use the door behind me. Safer that way.
Death comes for you! Unite!
It did them no good to remain confined in this place. I hope that freedom suits them better.
You've made a grave mistake. I will correct it in Andra's name.
Stand together!
I knew the Abbey was a secret, but I had no idea.
This is very good.
Deceitful wretch! Grave robber! You who dig for that which you did not bury, speak! Explain yourself and be judged. You seek what is mine, what was rightfully lost. Your actions speak for themselves. The battery opened. The forge ignited. You set free souls that hid from me, that stole from me and evaded my judgment. The dwarves sealed their own fate. The forge was meant to be forgotten. And now, here you are again, denying peace to the buried. Memories are the spirits of the past. You of all people should know their sway on the present, Watcher. Mortals measure the worth of their lives in memory. Who will remember me? How long until I am forgotten? Memory governs every thought, informs every choice. It can fuel passion, understanding, love, or it can create obsession, madness. You have seen it plague many souls in your travels. Consider the old Watcher who inherited unspeakable crimes from birth, or the young woman who committed herself to Brackenbury for love of things she remembered she had. Or the fisherman whose life became a sentence the day he killed his sister. Or the Glonfathen boy for whom an old medallion was worth more than all the fruits of his labors. They could be free from their burdens, if only they could forget. For some, perhaps, but for many the memory is all that remains of it. The fires of cold morn died long ago, yet vengeance still burns in this construct's mind. What is vengeance but a fire fueled by memory that consumes the soul?
A fun way to kill time?
Cold morn is not but a memory now. If it no longer intruded on her thoughts, no longer haunted her dreams, she could live a life of her choosing. So often do we confuse memory with identity. But memory is who we believe we were, not who we actually are. She would have a different identity now, a more peaceful existence, if she could forget what led her down this path.
But I would lose my favorite conversation starter.
You cast your troubling memories aside when you had the opportunity. And you have found the peace you sought.
It's funny. I remember feeling bad, but I don't remember why. It's like having scars for wounds you don't remember. As long as they don't reopen one day, I can live with that.
The source of those wounds is long gone. The memory was all that could do you harm. Even when problems have run their course, memory can be the stone that sinks you into the abyss. Indeed? And what has led you to conclude you know better than a god, mortal?
My master could not have said it better.
That hardly sounds like an improvement on inner peace. Is that the extent of your argument? Your reasoning is interesting, mortal. Perhaps there is something to it. But it is not my will to simply do good. Those broken souls that fail your test, those are the ones I love most, for no other god will have them. What small mercies they ask of me, I will always grant. Was there something else, mortal? Do not play coy with a god, Watcher. I know you have seen his death. I feel it whenever a forgotten thing is taken from me. Abidin did not deserve to die here. This place, it was the least I could do to give his remains some privacy. The least I could do for ending his life. I called the moon down to me, Ioni brother. It was against his wishes. He would not listen to reason, would not listen to me. In his madness, he splintered the moon, but it was not enough. The greatest of the fragments still fell toward that which he would protect. In the end, he took position where it would fall, and absorbed the impact himself. Ioni brother is their smaller sibling, tiny next to them. That time has been forgotten now, and so his death belongs to me. Everything he was before the impact. No! He cannot know! He must never know! Understand, he was not always as he is now. His body was not all he left behind. He was devoted to progress and industry from the beginning, but so too was he devoted to preservation. In those times he would let nothing go. Nothing could be forgotten. His will was iron long before his body. We agreed long ago, all of us, not to alter the course of Kith's civilization. Not directly. Not unless there were no other choice. But in this matter, there was no other choice. He understood that as well as anyone. It was for duty that he opposed it. I would have stopped it if I could, but by then it was too late. Time has finished much of what I started. I cannot tell you that, mortal, for fear of undoing all its costly work. The other gods knew what had to be done, but they lacked the will to go through with it. Even gods have their attachments. To erase all knowledge of such a grand thing required unthinkable devastation. The Eastern Reach, Deadfire. Mine was the only solution. When I called down Ioni brother, they remained silent. Even Abaddon, he knew it was for the best. But he tried to stop it all the same. Perhaps deep down I knew he would. I should have expected it. I could have stopped it. You may ask. It was never meant for mortal use. Such power, such truths lie within it. It can bring only ruin. When the Pargrunin came to the White March, they were peaceful. They shared common beliefs and purpose. Their visions for the Forge tore them apart. You have seen this for yourself. They would have destroyed themselves in the end. You need only look to the history of your own civilization for assurance. How many wars, how many fallen empires might have been averted if only their leaders could forget the objects of their ambition? I mourned the loss of the Pargrunin. Misfortune brought them here. They did not deserve to end so soon. What the world casts aside, I take into my care. A thing may be forgotten, but it is never alone as long as I am here. They were lost children, abandoned, fixed on a purpose that no longer had meaning. I took them in, gave them new purpose. I did not create them, but yes, they are mine. They were his once, I won't deny it. He created them as assistants to carry out his work on Eora. But he has long been the overseer of progress in the world. Leaving things behind has always been his way. I allow him to leave his past in my care, so that it does not hold him back. I suppose we do. But then, the gods have always been able to accomplish far greater things when working together. Speak your mind. Careful what you accuse a god of, mortal. And what if I did, mortal? It does him no harm to forget. On the contrary, it lifts a burden. If Abaddon remembered, it would threaten the harmony between the gods. It was not so long ago that conflict between us led to disaster in your world, and the death of one of our number. Memory is but an image we create to make sense of the present. It carries no truth or meaning but what we ascribe. A slight alteration to it is a small price to pay for peace. Memory deceives. It distorts. It reimagines. This is no different. The peace between the gods is already fragile. It will not withstand another shock. Speak your mind. Some things that are forgotten must never be remembered. Not merely for the benefit of those who forgot, but for the entire world. There can be no second thoughts, no sympathy or stays of execution. The Eyeless were born to fulfill this task, though even their creator did not know it. They are single-minded and relentless. They do not flinch when called upon to do what is necessary. Kith owe them a great debt for the troubles they have hidden away. You may ask. The death of a god is a calamity. You are living in the aftermath of one such death. Surely you can understand. He deserved better. Of all the other gods, he was the only one who acted, who held to his convictions. Yes. I admired him for that. Whatever he was to me, it was not meant to last. Always our duty is to Eora first. I knew he opposed what I intended, that he would wish to preserve what I meant to destroy. I knew it would cause a rift that might never be mended. But I never imagined he'd go so far. I never imagined it would mean I would never know him, as I once did. Because it might cause him to remember. No, mortal. Better that we should exist as we are now. What happened once must never happen again. Bad enough that I am cursed to remember it. You may ask. On the contrary, mortal, their work must continue. Far too much was uncovered while they lay dormant. Those who know too much of the White Forge will be washed clean from Eora, and then the Eyeless shall rest once more. Even if it is as you say, there is nothing that can be done. The Eyeless do not think for themselves. They have only the purpose that is given to them. They do not stop until the purpose is fulfilled. They will not change course now for me or anyone. I am sorry. The interventions of gods seldom work out in anyone's favor. Our touch is too heavy. The world crumbles beneath it. It is why we so often enlist the help of mortals. They execute our wishes with greater care. I have done far too much already. Only if those they pursue are no longer a threat. The Raid Sarens were stopped before they could take the White Forge. In your case, Watcher, you are well beyond that now. And if what you say is true, then the Deerwood is as well. Your determination is commendable, but the eyeless number in the thousands. You will need more than strength or luck. I will give you what aid I can. I bade the eyeless to remain hidden when at rest. They are gathered in the hollow of a great rock, splintered from Ione Brother. It lies in a flooded crater known as Kairin's Scar. Know too that they were built to answer the call of their master's hammer. When they hear it strike, they come to its aid. If you were to take that piece of his hammer from here and reshape it in Abaddon's forge into a likeness of the original, you might be able to call them to you. But destroying them would be another matter. I know of one way, but only from the center of the Lion's Den. Only with their master's hammer in your service. If you can do all this, if you can reshape what remains of Abaddon's hammer and bring it inside their lair, I can instruct you there on what you would need to do. And I will see you through when the time comes. If you do not, be assured, they will come for you as they did for the Pargrunen. Careful as you approach the lake. When I claimed the eyeless, I made sure they would not be discovered while they slept. Many of my most devoted followers stand watch there. They will not allow you near. And there is something far worse. Something more fearsome and dangerous than any eyeless. Let us hope you do not attract its attention.
Heard enough.
This threatens all of us now.
She's right. We've got to fight together.
See, Darian? He'll tell you. We can stop him.
If he's seen them, he knows better.
Something killed a whole crew of hunters out in the wood. Tore them apart like dolls, insects.
Something like the creatures that attacked my fort, perhaps?
I told ya! All we gotta do is get him in range of these cannons and then we blast him!
We don't even know what they are.
The destruction my dreams warned me of. And your greed and recklessness have brought them on us all!
You burning our village didn't help matters none.
It wasn't my clan that attacked you.
No difference. One ogre stinks as bad as the next.
I came to offer my clan's help. The White March has been our home for centuries. We'll defend it alongside you. Sound it anywhere in the White March, and 3 of my best warriors will be at your side. Your battles become ours.
What's your plan for dealing with them exactly?
That lake's notorious! Folk never come back from that... Oh!
You'll need all the help you can get. I have fewer men to offer than I would like, but the Iron Flail stands ready. Our siege weapons are at your disposal.
The same ones you threw at the battery's walls?
These eyeless will come for us all if they aren't stopped here and now.
Forget it. You're not bringing your army into our backyard. Tell him. I guess you're right. Won't be anything left of Stalwart if we don't stop these monsters anyway.
You know, those heavy cannons you fixed might come in handy. Hear me out. Karen's Scar should be just in range for those guns. You just point out your target and I'll do the rest.
If those things are on the move, we don't have much time. If you're really gonna stop them, take this. It's the best of the ore we've pulled from Stalwart's mines. It's not much, but it's good enough to make the old Pargrunen smiths proud. I'm sorry about what I said before. Just don't take it out on the rest of the village.
Durgan built a battery without ever realizing that this was waiting nearby. It makes me wonder what other surprises await the Eastern Reach. What is that? You have done well to have come so far. I confess I was not certain you would make it, but I do not wish to give false hope. The greater challenge remains in front of you. Running through the core of this rock is a large growth of crystal. You will know it when you see it. A blow to the crystal would reverberate through the walls of this place. Strike it enough and the entire structure would crumble. The eyeless would be buried. Of course, it would take a person years to cause enough damage. Then you know what must be done. Strike the crystal with Obsidian's hammer. The eyeless will wake and come to its call. Join in striking the crystal. They will cluster together and bury themselves. I have realized it is best that they should be ended, for within each of them is a small piece of Obsidian himself. Upon their deaths, those fragments and the memories they contain will be safely dispersed. I had not considered the dangers of allowing them to persist, until a watcher appeared at my abbey. A single strike upon the crystal will not be enough. The eyeless respond only as long as the hammer rings. You will need to remain until their work is complete, wielding the hammer until the walls come crumbling down. Your sacrifice will be mourned, but your fate is already sealed. The eyeless cannot be reasoned with or fled from. One day not far from now, they would kill you and level the Deerwood. You have seen what they will do. This is the way you can stop them. And the truth is that you are marked by the eyeless for a reason. It would be better for all if the things you have seen were forgotten.
Ain't that convenient?
A clean slate for us and the world. Maybe that's not such a bad thing.
Stand together!
Maybe big, ugly, and the spawn of the gods, but I'd bet my feathers it bleeds like anything else.
I'm here.
As long as I live, Masuk will sing your name alongside Persok's.
I just hope you're not doing this for all those louts in Stalwart. Even the new ones ain't worth it.
A great act of freedom. Your body will suffer for it, but your soul will flourish. Always, I will remember your example.
You're a brave soul. Wish I'd met you sooner.
We shatter and sink, discarded like worn tools. Why have you consigned us to oblivion? Blasphemy! These are jewels of civilization. They are sacred. We would sooner sacrifice our own bodies than dislodge a single stone from such a place. Why do you torment us with baseless accusations? Then we were betrayed. And we were made to betray something we cherish. The bedrock of civilization. Better for her tides to ebb and her seas to dry up than to cover a single stone the Ingwithans laid. Each culture builds on the bones of the last, yet many only look up at where they would go, never down at the foundations that bear them. Like a mason who builds a listing tower. What peril do they inflict on their progeny? And what dishonor on their forebears? It is accepting a gift only to spit in the face of the giver. Every advance in the crafts and institutions of Kith was forged by skill and sacrifice. A people cut off from their history will wither, and they deserve no less. To pull the blinders from the eyes of gods and Kith. That is why we must return to ourselves and restore Abidan. When Ioni Brotha fell, Abidan lost much. His will to preserve, the memory of how and why he died. But he built us with fragments of his own soul. In returning, we can restore what was taken from him. We shall see this world and its people restored.
The Eyeless disappeared beneath the lake, their bond to Andra finally severed. With this threat ended, hope returned to the White March. Hunters returned to the wildernesses, and travelers to the roads. Tales of the Watcher's bravery replaced stories of monsters in the woods. The villagers of Stalwart busied their hands with work and their tongues with song, eager to seize on the promise of peace.